A sunny day. Yes, you heard me correct. On a warm, sunny day, the first time this year, softball action on a day actually you think of softball today. It is in the 80s. It is sunny. There's just a slight breeze blowing. West Rutland trying to get their act together as they take on Rochester, and they're taking on a very good Rochester team. It'll be Peyton Boyer, Miranda Shepard, and Lauren Pratt do up. Brooke Griswold in the circle getting the start today for Mill River, where I've seen her come in relief for 3 games. I haven't seen her start. Maybe she'll have a different approach today, being a starter. What's hurt West Rutland this year? Mistakes, mistakes, mistakes. And that ball is fair, and it stays fair. And Boyer just booked it down the line as she drops down a bunt, and she'll be on with a bunt single. Now Shepard up, and I'll tell you what, if they're willing to do that with their leadoff batter in the first at-bat of the game, they've got to be sending her over to second as they're trying to bunt her over, and she will not go on to steal. It was a bunt and run, not just a straight job of just taking off by the base runner. So I'd say West Rutland has been mistakes, walks, a lot of walks by their pitchers, and just errors in the field. And that's good. They've been. I came here into the Mill River game. West Rutland had a 2-1 lead going into the 6th inning and ended up losing that by double digits. They just went to pieces in the 6th. They were ahead of Arlington late in the ball game, and they gave up. I think that was the 6th inning. They gave up a tremendous amount of errors and walks in the throwdown, and Lincoln's going to have her. Oh, she's going to be there ahead of the throw. It was a beautiful throw. Lincoln will look to the umpire, but she will be called safe. Boyer will slide in under the tag on a bang-bang play. So Shepard now will step to the right side of the plate as she's looking at strike 3. Yep. She'll sit down, and there is no question about it. Okay, just time was called. Hart wants to talk to Griswold. That's the first out of the ball game. First strikeout, obviously, for Brooke Griswold, who's a senior, to remember that championship basketball team, state champion basketball team here. Now Lauren Pratt up. She will be the catcher for Rochester. I know in basketball this is a nice little rivalry, Rochester and West Rutland. Hopefully it'll be a good game today. I did the game last year here. That ended up being a 2-1 win for West Rutland, and oh yeah, I could take a close ball game today. And that is going to be deep, and going back is Harrington, and she will make the grab. You know, and it's strange because I was telling you how good the weather conditions are, but the wind kicked up right on cue there as that ball was hit. And I want to correct myself, that's Johanna Lee over there. So I was incorrect. I look at the field backwards from being in center field. I just had my 7s and 9s crossed up. And that is a pitch outside. This is going to be the starting pitcher right here, Bennett McFetrus for Rochester. As Griswold trying to get out of this inning and leave that runner stranded at second. And boy, close, but outside. And a ball. Quickly, I'll try to set that West Rutland defense for you. As Kayleen Eddings getting the start at first base today. And the runner will be off to third, and yeah, they'll hold the ball. I see Bania standing there, but they will hold the ball, and that's just they'll put pressure now on the pitcher-catcher to make sure that ball stays in front here in play. Doesn't want to get a wild pitcher pass ball and let that runner come home. That's a great pitch. Hart will fake the throw this time, but she will throw at any base on any count. I mentioned Eddings at first. Caroline Wood is at second. Katie Lincoln's at short. Caitlin Bania is at third. Amanda Hart's behind the plate. And that's going to be a base hit, and that's going to be an RBI, and you can see Girardi chase it down, but a good job there of taking that high outside pitch and going to the opposite field with it. So again, what created that run? Well, I don't know the words manufacturing, but a bunt by Boyer, leadoff batter. She stole second and went to third on a wild pitch. That's why that base hit could score her. That's a version of small ball because she let off at the bunt and then stole second. There's Alicia Waite now, and she's going to be the first baseman. She is at the plate. She's batting starting off from the left side. We're in top of the first, scheduled for 7. It's 1-0 Rochester with the lead, and Griswold. Lincoln will just take it off the top of the infield for the out. Rochester does play to run, but not a bad inning overall for West Rutland. They'll go to the bottom of the first down that 1 run. Well, everything has changed in my book here from what I was given in the dugout. That's not McFeatures starting the pitching position. That is Mishkit, number 16, Danielle Mishkit. She will be the starting pitcher. Looks like the catcher remained Lauren Pratt. Alicia Waite is at first. Jordan McKinley has gone to second, and that's going to be a foul ball as it goes off from the bag and foul. Tony Girardi, the leadoff batter here for West Rutland, to be followed by Griswold and Lincoln. Peyton Boyer does get the start at shortstop, and Miranda Shepard is at third. And I'm sure they have a good reason. That's just always a royal pain in the butt. I haven't been away from that dugout for more than 5 minutes with this lineup they gave me, and it's completely changed now. That'll be high for a ball, and Girardi with the good eye. So the outfield looks like this. Bennett McPetrus is now the center fielder. Michaela Blair is in left. And Anna LaBeija is the right fielder. And there is the leadoff walk as Mishkit missed inside. And talk about speed on the bases. Girardi down there with a lot of speed, and see if they want to move her along with a stealer or with a little small ball. But Griswold up, and she's made good contact all season long. She's hit up in the order just like this all season. She'll lay off from that pitch, and the runner will stay at first. And I believe West Rutland, with that 1-5 record, things haven't gone well for them. There goes the runner, and the throw. She's going to be safe. Nice throw by the catcher, Pratt, but a good jump. Got those wheels spinning. No jump, you can't get a lead in softball, but she had a good, quick first step. So Griswold, the runner in scoring position now, starting to save for West Rutland. That's got a chance to be up the middle. Now it's scooped up, and McKinley will throw to first. They will have the out, and Griswold will go to third. And did they call her safe? Yes, they called her safe at first. So Griswold with very good speed getting it down the line. Makes it a first and third situation for Katie Lincoln. They make Mishkit throw strikes. Don't help her out by going after pitches well out of the strike zone. That was a good pitch. And you know already what I'm going to say. You already know how I feel about first and third in softball. You got to send the runner from first to go to second on the steal. That's put into play. They're going to come home. That's not a force. That's a tag play. She's out at the plate. See, I'm not sure about releasing on that. There was no need to release her. Fielder's choice for Lincoln. Griswold goes to second. And that was a force out, 5-2. That's the first out. Now Hart up, Amanda Hart. No, big innings get deflated by a big play like that because that lifts the defense, takes away your lead runner. And that's going to be just over the shortstop. McFeatures will scoop it up and quickly get the ball in the play. Griswold's coming home, and she is there just ahead of the throw. The tag was high. Runners will move up to second and third. And Hart with a base hit will tie the game up. I tell you, they needed a speedy runner like Griswold. Right there. Now Christina Harrington due up in my book, and that's who we have. Oh, this could be a dandy of a game. I'd like to see a competitive game. I wouldn't mind a wild one. Good pitch. Drop ball, and as it swinging above the pitch was Harrington. Bania on deck. Oh, it's easy to look back and say, what if, what if, what if? That's really not fair to the coach. He does a very good job here. But what if he didn't send that runner on that infield grounder to third base with a hard shot? I mean, he got to third quick, so the runner really had no advantage. That's going to be hit to third, and they got her in a pickle play. And she is out. They have ran themselves out of an inning here. Hart will go to third, and Harrington to second. I'm just trying to remember how that went. And again, I mean, you take yourself out of big innings like that. Bania up now with only one run in. But if you don't see that ball on the first out of the inning, the ball hit to third was a bullet. So, I mean, already you've lost 2 or 3 steps going home. And that's a short throw for the third baseman, swing and a miss, and it was not a foul ball, but the runner does not try to come home. So what I'm trying to say is I probably wouldn't have sent the runner, especially with nobody out. I would have just tried to, save it for a big inning. And then the next batter up hit it over the top of the shortstop, could have driven a couple runs. And then that last play at the plate. Eddings on deck, Bania at the plate, West Rutland, Rochester in the top of the bottom of the first, all tied up. And that, I tell you what, that's getting around on the pitch, right around your eyeballs and pulling it foul for Bania. Bania's done a good job this year with the bat. Oh, got her looking at a changeup. Looked high to me. It's not where the catcher catches the ball, but Bania will be rung up, and we're tied at 1 going into the second. We'll lead things off here in the top of the second against Brooke Griswold, and there is a first pitch strike by Griswold. Yeah, we're looking, in my book, I have Blair, McKinley, and LaBeija due up. And that one obviously a ball. So that defense remains with Eddings at first, Wood at second, Lincoln at short, Bania at third, Hart behind the dish. In the circle is Griswold. And they try to bunt again, and that's going to be a beautiful bunt. They've got a tough angle to throw to, and they'll get the out this time. I like what Rochester does, though. They're saying to West Rutland, here you go. I don't care if you know I'm going to bunt. Make the play now. Now you've got to execute the play. And they did for the first out. Now Jorah McKinley up. With the bases clear and nobody on here. That's going to be Lincoln, and she's usually very automatic. She'll pick it up, fire, and nice stretch by Eddings to make the grab. On a play, they got a little hairy at first base as the throw was to the inside portion of the bag, and Eddings juggled the throw, but she will hold on long enough, Rob Black said, for the 6-3 ground out. So LaBeija up now, and West Rutland looking for a 1-2-3 inning. The outfield still has Lee, Girardi, and Harrington in it for West Rutland. That's going to be down to second. It'll be picked up by Wood. She'll throw, and there's the out. So a 1-2-3 inning for West Rutland, and see if that carries over with some momentum going up to the plate as they'll go to the bat in the bottom of the second. All tied up with Rochester. Mishkit faced 6 batters in that first inning, only giving up the 1 run. She got a little help from West Rutland as they ran themselves out of a big inning, or potentially big inning. Kayleen Eddings up, Johanna Lee, and then Caroline Wood do up the number 7, 8, 9 batters in the order for West Rutland. A good pitching performance at this point by Brooke Griswold of West Rutland. Now, I've never asked Brooke, in the times I've spoken with her, if she preferred coming in relief pitching or if she preferred starting. Now, there is a big difference. A lot of pitchers at any level, pro, college, high school, midget league, anything. You know, some of them will tell you, I don't like coming in relief, or no, I don't like starting, or no, I like to know that I am going to start, blah, blah. There is a walk. Griswold looks very sharp so far in the ball game, so I don't know if this is a better fit for her, as Eddings will go down to first on the walk, and now Johanna Lee up for the first time. I can only assume Lee's usually the starting pitcher. This is the first game of a doubleheader. Unfortunately, I can only do 1 game. I got a big list of chores that I've fallen way behind on that I have to do at home. It happens. So I can only assume that Lee will get Eddings back safe, as Waite applied the tag anyways, but you should. But I can only assume Lee will pitch the second game for West Rutland, or start the second game. That's in play. Boyer down on the ball will get 1. They'll turn. Nope, they'll have the out. There'll be no argument. That was a confirmed out, which is transferring the ball from the glove to the hand. It popped out, and it's clearly a good call by the umpire. So Lee will reach on a fielder's choice. And what is that? It's a 6-4 force out. And now Wood up for the first time as they'll reattach the bag. Eddings put a little extra mustard on it there by jumping on it, showing the bag who was boss. So Wood up, then top of the order Girardi. We're tied at 1 in the second. Good stop by Pratt behind the plate for Rochester. Of course, all these young ladies from Rochester are very familiar to me as I've covered their, when they come to play West Rutland in basketball, I get to see all their games. And I tell you, a good group of athletes. There's Lee back ahead of the throw from Pratt to first. The Waite was waiting. No play on words there. I invite you to watch Sports Beat on Channel 15, also on PEGTV.com. That's my show. It's been on since November 1995. My guest that you'll turn on to watch during this viewing of this ball game will be former Rutland High School track standout and University of Rhode Island star, Eric Gross. He's now the conditioning coach, assistant basketball coach down at CSJ. That'll be high for a ball. That'll be ball 4, so they will walk. Wood to second. Lee will go to, actually they'll walk Wood to first. Lee will go to second, and top the order, Girardi up. Girardi had a walk, received a walk back in the first, as they're getting a second look through the lineup at Mishkit, and that ball will roll in, and nice job of sliding over by Pratt, and the runners will not move up for West Rutland. Girardi, if she can get a pitch, I'd love to see her drop a bunt right now, because at third base defensively, Shepard, I think, is playing pretty deep. But she's also going to be able to get to the bag to cover with the runner at first and second. Oh, good pitch. And again, the runner's not moving up this time, or attempting to move up. So Mishkit getting a little bit of a pickle here. Got 2 on, 1 down. And she's got to be looking at the number 2, 3 batters next in that order for West Rutland. All walks are your team's worst enemy. You can't field a walk, and this time the runners will go, as that was ball 4, and the bases will be loaded for the first time today for West Rutland. They'll have the bases juiced. And Griswold, who's been hitting the ball very well, as I said already, is up. She had a single and scored West Rutland's only run. She's got a chance to do a lot of damage right here with the base hit, as there is good speed out there on the base for West Rutland. And that one will tickle that inside corner for a strike call. Yeah, one thing all the pitchers want to do is pitch from a head and count. You get behind, and man, that thing's get tense for you, and that will be a big swing and a miss, and just fouled it out the nub of her bat. And Griswold will be down 0-2 now. So West Rutland, for the second inning in a row with multiple base runners on, needs to cash in, though. These are tiny things when your team's struggling. If you don't cash in on these situations, they come back to get you. Change up. Griswold made contact, and that's going to be Boyer, and she's just going to hold the ball. Now, the ball might have been redirected by the pitcher, Mishkit. And if she didn't misdirect, she slowed it down. So Lee will score. Wood will go to third, Girardi to second, and Griswold will be at first. Now Lincoln up. She had a fielder's choice her first time up, unofficially in my book. And just missed the outside corner. I thought he was going to ring her up there on a strike 1, but that'll be a ball. That's going to be ball 2. 2-1 West Rutland as they take their first lead of the ball game here in the bottom of the second on a nice warm breezy day. Oh, that's going to be a base hit. That's going to be in the gap. There it goes to the fence. 1 run in, 2nd run in, and Griswold's going to turn the corner, be sent home, and the play coming in, she will be there standing up, and Lincoln will be at third base as she drove that ball to the left center field gap and cleared them off as she'll drive in 3 runs. And again, you want somebody up there who can make contact, and she did more than that. And now Amanda Hart up, and Rochester are going to have a meeting in the circle, talk it over. I don't believe they'll make the switch right now. 1, 2, 3, 4 runs in. That makes it 5-1 West Rutland. Hart, her first time up, had an RBI single. She drove Griswold in. And they are just discussing the change that will take place. McFeetris will come in to pitch. So she'll take her warm-ups. I'll be back after that, and we will have the continuation of the ball game. 5-1 West Rutland in the bottom of the second over Rochester. Hart the batter, and just watching McFeetris in her warm-ups. She looked a tad bit wild, a little control issue. We'll see what happens here. That's a good stop by Pratt as she slid to the inside, scooped the ball up, kept the runner at third. There is the 1 out here in the second for West Rutland. Hart's going to send it up the middle, and there's Boyer. She'll get the out at first. Yes, the run will score, but it's more important. What Boyer did was the play, the right play, the only play, as Lincoln will score, making it 6-1 now. And Boyer did a nice job of showing you her range at shortstop. Now Harrington up. She reached on the fielder's choice. Her only time up. That's going to be foul into the screen along that West Rutland dugout. That graduation season fast approaching. June is coming, and all these high schools will be graduating. And of course, you can watch PEGTV Channel 20. Chris McCormick's program director there, and you can watch probably, I believe he gets every graduation in the area, in the county. I know that I always come to West Rutland and videotape their graduation. And if it doesn't conflict with MSJ's graduation, and if MSJ wants me to, I always videotape MSJ's graduation. But there's all the other schools, so you'll be able to see all the graduations on PEGTV Channel 20. Any questions, you can call PEGTV at 747-0151. Ask for Chris McCormick, the program director, or you can email him at pegtv.com. And she helped her out, and that's going to be a strike 3, and they're going to have to throw down to first, and that's the out. But West Rutland, with 5 runs, will have a 6-1 lead going into the 3rd over Rochester on Munger Vision. Brooke Griswold's done a nice job through the first 2 innings. She's facing the number 9 batter, Mishkit. So you can see that she's pretty much on line. She had a 1-2-3 second, and she faced 5 batters in the first. But when you get into the 3rd and you're just getting your first at bat, Lincoln will have this at shortstop. There's the out. Again, she didn't go deep into the count. She didn't fall behind, and the defense making the plays you should make behind her. Now, top of the order, Peyton Boyer up. She had a bunt single and scored Rochester's only run back in the first. Scheduled for 7. Bania. Yeah, I love that type of ball. They didn't have Bania in very tight at the corner, and Boyer with that great speed and back control just deadened the ball down the 3rd baseline and beat that out, as you can see, very easy. Now, when Boyer got on the first time, she stole 2nd, moved to 3rd on a wild pitch. And that's up, and Hart will grab it for out number 2. Yeah, that's tough. You got to execute. And Hart, very sure-handed, will grab most of those all the time. And there's 2 down now. For Lauren Pratt. Pratt, the catcher, doing a nice job behind the plate for Rochester. At the plate, and Griswold looking for another quick inning to work here. That's on the infield. Lincoln got it. And then they'll leave the ball in the circle, and another good inning by Griswold and her defense. So it'll stay 6-1 West Rutland over Rochester going into the bottom of the 3rd on Munger Vision. So McFetress in her, not her full 2nd inning of work. We'll start off with a ball to Bania. Bania up for the 2nd time. She struck out back in the 1st inning. That was her only plate appearance. Eddings and then Lee will follow her. Mishkit started the ball game in a circle for Rochester. Went 1+ innings. And McFetress now trying to hold the line in a 6-1 game. West Rutland with 1 in the first, 5 runs in the 2nd. And a low strike called on Bania. Tell you what, McFetress can deliver that pitch on a consistent basis. Now you can see Bania look down at the head coach at 3rd base and just kind of like shrug her shoulders. She don't really like the pitch, but that one was just called a strike previously, so she felt compelled to have to go after it. Then they came upstairs with their eyes ball, and I'll tell you what, McFetress with a nice sequence of pitching right there will strike out Bania. Now Eddings up. She walked her first time up. West Rutland looking to get back in the win column here today. And to this point, now we're only gone through 3 innings. We haven't hit the halfway point yet, midway point yet, but they just look a lot sharper today, West Rutland does. And again, a little heat on that pitch from McFetress, and she will get the ball past. Try to take a little bit off and bring the ball in low. This is Eddings up at the plate. Jerry Munger, Munger Vision, a lot of years in public access. Started in November of 1995, and who would have thunk it? In the summer of 2010, still plugging away. And that will be ball 4, and Eddings will take first base. Now Johanna Lee up. She reached on a fielder's choice and eventually scored back in that 5-run 2nd. West Rutland again. See what they want to do on the bases. Now they have a runner. Runner staying put. Pitch called a strike, and Lee will step back in the box, down 0-1 in the count. Good scoop by Pratt. She does a nice job with both pitchers today, as they've had a little wildness, and Pratt's been able to keep just about everything in front of her from that catcher's position. Not really conventional type of defensive posture back there, but she's doing the job. Shepard and Boyer, that's your third baseman, and shortstop for Rochester. Mishkit went to second, and Waite at first. That's the infield right now. I mentioned that Pratt was behind the plate. Oh, good heat on that ball. And she's able to get the fastball pass for the second strikeout of the inning. Lee will sit down with 2 outs now. Caroline Wood up. She walked and scored back in the second. She represents the number 9 spot in the order. That means top of the order on deck. And Tony Girardi. The beige is in center field. I'm just trying to retract my steps here. Blair is in center field, and I'll wait for this pitch. Again, good heat on it, and McKinley's the other outfielder. So looking for a strong third inning is McFeatures. Winds it up, windmills it in, and throws a changeup high. Had fooled the batter, Caroline Wood, but the changeup came in high. And McFeatures was supposed to start the ball game. And she will have 3 strikeouts that inning, and that's a good inning by Rochester. 6-1 West Rutland would lead as we go to the 4th inning of play on Munger Vision. Griswold in his 4th innings will be looking at Bennett McFeatures, Alicia Waite, and Michaela Blair. That's the 3 due up. And again, she has not wasted a lot of pitches today, Griswold. She has been up in the count. She hasn't gone deep into the counts, and been around the plate all day in her defense when they've had to. When they've made the ball hit to them, they've made the grounding plays, they've made the flyouts. And that's going to be tracked down by Harrington, and she will make the grab for out number 1. And again, I got to go back and look at my book, but I believe that Griswold's only issues with first at bats has been Boyer getting those bunt singles. Other than that, she's done a good job of keeping the leadoff batters off the base, unless it's Boyer. Now Waite up. Waite lined out to Lincoln. Remember, she took it right off the top of the infield. Dirt, Lincoln did. And strike 2 on a rise ball. So Griswold looking like a completely different pitcher out there today from the last 2 times we have seen her. Plus, you know, in defense to all the players, also. It's the first decent weather day. I mean, you know, as miserable as it is, and I complain like, you know, unbelievable about everything. As miserable as it's for me to videotape a game standing in the rain, the sleet, the snow, the wind, the cold. You know, they're playing in it. It sucks for them. You know, it's hard to hold the ball, grip the ball. You're freezing. You're out of concentration, and just missed right there. So yeah, I mean, they look better today because maybe they can actually function today because the weather's better. And they'll lay down the bunt. Griswold off the circle quick. Will throw to first, and they'll just get her by a stride. And that's 2 down now. Okay, Griswold just kind of cruising along here. And now Michaela Blair grounded out to Griswold, the pitcher. That was her only time at bats. This is the 2nd time through for a lot of these Rochester hitters now. That will be obviously a ball. Gimbania at third base defensively. Lincoln shortstop. Woods at second. Eddings at first. Hart, of course, is behind the plate. We already mentioned Griswold in the circle. Harrington, Girardi, and Lee are the outfield for West Rutland. You've got their entire defensive set now. Oh, good pitch. Griswold with a strikeout back in the first. Has 2 down, and the base is cleared off right now. Brought a little heat on the pitch, and it tailed inside and caused Blair to stand back. On deck is McKinley in case they do extend the inning to the next at-bat. And that one she just held on too long. Again, we have a lot of sports on Munger Vision still coming up. I got the Bougiani AAU Thunderbirds basketball tournament. You'll be able to watch that for quite a while on Channel 15. They usually play it pretty much through the month of May. That is a walk, and that'll be 2 outs and a runner at first base on the walk. But I usually try to do between 4 and 8 games in the tournament. So you'll be able to catch up on the tournament that way. PEGTV Channel 15 or PEGTV.com on the internet. Hart will fake me out. I'll fake the throw down to first. So control has been an issue for Griswold early in the season, not so far today. Let's see if she can. Yeah, she's down 2-0 in the count right now. She's just issued a walk. Paul Dunches is the head coach, of course, at West Rutland. And that's going to be a foul ball. I saw the former head coach, Lori Serrani, the other day when I went and did a Proctor varsity softball game. Coach Serrani over at the middle school in Proctor now. And I know they're getting good coaching now at that level. She's an excellent coach. She also was coach at CSJ when they won 2 Sunrise Conference regular season championships. And actually, I think they won the whole conference championships. Got her on that pitch, looking strike 2. You just watch McKinley watch that ball go and tickle that outside corner. And she'll get her, so her second strikeout of the ball game will end the inning in the threat, and it'll stay 6-1 West Rutland as we head into the bottom of the 4th. McFetress, who enjoyed a 3-strikeout performance in the last inning, will start things off with a strike. Top of the order, Girardi up. She has walked twice. Obviously, she's been on base twice. She has scored a run. Griswold and Lincoln to follow. Now in defense of McFetress, there's a bunt down by Girardi. That's a beautiful play. And she's going to beat it out. See, that's there all season long. Check the corner when you're at the plate. If they're playing back on you, drop the bunt. Beautiful. Now in defense of McFetress, I said she looked wild when she was warming up, coming on in relief. And then she had a strong last inning. She just didn't get enough time to warm up. And you'll hear a lot of players talk about that. Griswold's had a good day so far, and that's going to be strike 1. The runner goes, and she will be safe on the steal. So I like that. The bunt single, the stolen base, didn't wait deep into the count, just went for it. It's 2 stolen bases today for the very speedy Tony Girardi. Griswold with a single, and she's also scored twice. She's also reached on a fielder's choice. Strike right there. Now that beautiful sunshine I was talking about is gone. The wind's kicked up, and the clouds are coming in from behind me, so that'd be from the west. And they do call for showers. That's going to be play to first, and they'll hit the out, and a runner will move up to third base. Good piece of base running right there by Girardi to get to third with less than 2 down now. So Lincoln up. She's had a triple her last time up that scored 3 runs, 3 RBIs, and she also scored eventually herself. So, and that's all the way back, and I'm trying to find a note. Girardi stayed at third. Now there's not a big space between the backstop and the catcher's butt there. So there's really, it's got to be an extraordinary wild pitch for you to actually come home easily and score. Lincoln's going to hit it right at you. It's going to be another RBI. It's going to be 4 RBIs for Lincoln, and there was no doubt about that. That was a beautiful stroke. That was like a 9-iron. And she took it right off the turf and will drive in Girardi. Now Girardi, think about how she scored. She bunted for the single, stole second, then went to third on an infield out. That's beautiful softball. That kind of softball wins a lot of games for you. You are going to. Here comes Lincoln coming down on the steal, and she will be safe. As Mishkit will put the tag on, but late. I started to say you will have the game occasionally where you, for some reason, your team can just club the ball, doubles, triples, home runs. But that's a very rare. That's not going to be a consistent thing. On the infield, and foul. As McFetress was there on the first baseline, but did not make the play. As Hart at the plate. Hart with an RBI single back in the first. She also grounded out to Boyer at short. But no, if you get down the small ball and the base running and the moving along, and Lincoln like that right there is going to go, and she's going to be there. She's safe, but she's got to. I like it when people slide down. That play was closer than it really had to be, and you could have actually overran the bag. A couple steals on the sequence for Lincoln. Lincoln's Lincoln, no matter if she's playing soccer, basketball, or softball. She's just an outstanding athlete. There's the catch, and the runner will stay at third, and that's going to be recorded as the second out now. And Christina Harrington up. Again, what you want to do is just make contact and make that defense make a play. And boy, she'll spank that foul down the first baseline on the line drive. So now I can tell you, after bragging in the first inning about how wonderful it is, we're playing under the threat of rain. McFeatress in the circle looks at the target set by Pratt, and that pitch is going to be down the first baseline and through the hole. I missed it, and they don't get the 9-3 put out. I tell you, that's terrible camera work, but a good play by both teams there. Certainly worthy of better camera work than I just gave you. Lincoln will score. That's 2 runs this inning. That's an RBI single for Harrington, and now Bania up. She's struck out both at bats, and she's looking to change that right here. And that's in the air, and Mishkit says she has it, and she does. But West Rutland will extend the lead to 8-1 as we go into the 5th on Munger Vision. LaBeija, Mishkit, and then Boyer. And that'll be fouled. I said Griswold with just 2 strikeouts in the ballgame, but she's done exactly what Coach Dunches needed her to do. Not hurt herself with walks. She's put the ball in the strike zone. She has allowed the people to hit the ball, and her fielders have done their job by fielding the ball. And everything's gone harmoniously well here for West Rutland. They have an 8-1 lead in the 5th. So after a long look in, Griswold set, and Hart wants to target on the outside corner, and she got it there, but high. So a 3-ball count now to LaBeija, the number 8 batter in the order. Boy, I tell you, Lincoln will eat that up and throw to first, and they'll get the out. Yeah, and there she danced around first base, but got the call, and she was able to stay on the bag for the tag. So they'll have a 3-ball count and get an infield out to Katie Lincoln, ground out. Now Mishkit up. She's flied out to Lincoln at shortstop, and she's only had that 1 plate appearance. Now you look in the book, you say we're in the 5th, and the number 9 batter's only been up twice. That tells you about how the game's going right there. And there's a 1-3 ground out. So again, 2 quick outs here for West Rutland, and Griswold looking like, I'm trying to think of a good pitcher in the pros. Isn't that awful? Well, she's looking pretty good out there. She's looking like Jenny Finch, actually. Jenny Finch, of course, a college softball pitching champion for Arizona, and then on the Olympic team champion, and that's going to be the Griswold. She's got time. Lincoln will pick it up, and nope. That will be the first error of the ball game. It's going to put Boyer at first. And see if that can start a spark a 2-out rally here for Rochester. So Boyer was up. She was at the top of the order. She's at first. Now Shepard up. Shepard struck out in the first and then popped up a bunt attempt that Hart, the catcher, caught for West Rutland. That's high for a ball. And she faked me out. She didn't throw it. So in the 6th, Rochester needing to get a couple runs shortly, as they're scheduled for 7, and they're down an 8-1 the score. It's too late to tell you in advance to go watch the Loyalty Day Parade live in downtown Rutland, but you can watch it on PEGTV.com. Taped to let you know. It's been taped. I've given the disc to Tom Laypool, the program director. He's put it on the server in the archives. So you can always watch Loyalty Day Parade by going to the internet. Channel 15, and you see the bunt, then the pullback, and then the strike called. Well, I thought they might go slap, but then they pulled it back on the bunt. The pitch was a strike to begin with, so 2 outs, 1 on. All good pitch. Now she will throw down, and the ball won't get that far away. You see Eddings chase it down, but no damage done. I have mixed feelings on that. You know, you've got everything going your way. You've struggled through the season. The game's in control. You have 2 down. I'm not sure about tossing the ball around the infield like that, trying to pick the runner off at first. I'm not saying don't be aggressive. Plus, it doesn't really matter what I say. It's irrelevant what I say. But so Griswold with the walk, and now Pratt up with 2 on and 2 down. And I'll tell you what, Pratt moved back, but that pitch did not miss by much at all. And actually, Pratt's body language might have helped to get that call to ball. That's a great pitch. 1-1 to count from Griswold. She has 2 strikeouts in the ball game. Rochester's a lone run coming back in the first inning as we're in the 5th. Griswold again will drop that right in there, and she'll be ahead of the count again. Looking to end the inning. She will on strikeout number 3 in the ballgame for senior Brooke Griswold, and they'll strand 2 Rochester will, and they'll trail 8-1 going into the bottom of the 5th. Bennett McFeatures has settled into the ballgame very nicely here. She came on in relief of Danielle Mishkit for Rochester. And Kayleen Eddings up for West Rutland as things get underway here in the bottom of the 5th. And again, Rochester, just like in basketball, they need some defensive stops now. They're down by 7. And that's got a chance to be caught, and Mishkit will make the grab, and that's 1 down, and they'll get the all-important leadoff batter out here in the bottom of the 5th. They figure Rochester's down to their final 6 outs of the ball game. Johanna Lee up. She's reached on a fielder's choice. She has scored, and she has struck out. She's had a little bit of everything, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Strike called outside corner. Caroline Wood on deck for West Rutland. That's going to be the shortstop, Boyer. She stays low on the ball and makes a strong throw. Boyer is an outstanding athlete. I remember last year her playing basketball coming in as a freshman and really shaking things up in West Rutland. So 2 down now for Wood, who has walked and struck out, and she has scored. She will step back on that pitch called the ball. Top of the order, Girardi on deck. 6 of the 8 runs for West Rutland have come through their top 4 in the order. So Rochester, I'm sure their coach, bookkeeper, very aware of that also. They want that top of the order coming up with the bases clean, not giving any more of an advantage to them. Strike called, and that's been a consistent call. They've been a low strike zone, which is fine. He's been very good behind the plate because he's been consistent on his calls. That one obviously too low as it rolled in. So McFeatures looking for a 1-2-3 inning here in the 5th. Like I said, Rochester needing not to allow West Rutland to score any more runs. Took a little something off that pitch, and Wood will walk, and that will bring up Girardi now with a runner at first base. Girardi has scored twice today. She's also singled, scored, and stolen 2 bases. And you throw in a couple walks, so she's been very good out of the top of the order. And the throw down, Wood will be back safely as Pratt snapping that throw down to first. You can see the sun has poked back out here through the very dark clouds coming in from the west. That's going to be to Mishkit. She will pick it up, and that's the force out. That's the inning. We'll go to the 6th on Munger Vision, 8-1 West Rutland. So Griswold at the number 4 batter, leading things off here in the 6th. McFeatures, and she'll drop that one and very gently for a strike. Now McFeatures today has singled. She has an RBI, and she's flied out to right field. And she'll step back and take strike 2. So again, you can see Griswold working from up in the count, 0-2. And again, brought it outside too far. She has 3 strikeouts in the ball game, but more importantly, she's had a nice balance. She hasn't had like 10 walks and 3 strikeouts. She's been very good today, ratio-wise. Lincoln, nope, that'll go through the hole, and that'll be a base hit, picked up by Lee and sent back in. So Rochester looking to make noise here in the 6th, down by 7. They get the leadoff batter on, and they have, when they've had runners on, they've been very aggressive at moving around the bases. Leisha Wade up, she's 0 for 2. She's lined out to Lincoln at short and grounded out to Griswold at first, and she's on the left side. See if she lays down a bunt here. She will. She'll drag it down the first baseline. That's a great bunt. That's a great play. There was confusion on the defense for West Rutland, and nobody actually went to the ball. The first baseman picked it up, and nobody covered the bag. So I'm telling you, the bunt is so much different in softball than baseball. Now, Blair up. There's a strike called. So wait with that single. Blair up is officially 0 for 1. She's walked also. She's grounded out to the pitcher Griswold, and she's walked. So Rochester first and second, nobody out, and I like what they're trying to do. That's a bunt attempt strike. And I've seen so many games. Actually, if you go back to baseball, last year's semifinal game in Division 4 between Black River and Proctor, as I look at strike 3, number 4 strikeout, will be the first out of the inning. Runners don't advance. Now McKinley up. That's going to be a tough play. Now, yeah, I think anywhere that Lincoln would have gone with it, they would have been safe. It was just hit so slow. And so for Rochester in the 6th, they have the bases juiced for LaBeija. She's 0 for 2. She's grounded out to second, Caroline Wood, and she's grounded out to Lincoln at short. And boy, she'll swing through that pitch that split the plate for strike 1. So yeah, you start looking at this. This is about the inning where things kind of go to pieces for West Rutland this year, the 6th, the 7th inning. Oh, Griswold looking in. I don't know where that was either. Well, it'll go to a 1-1 count. So LaBeija. That's going to be off from Hart's shin guards. Now see, they'll go to 2-1. So the makings of the opportunity to have a big inning here by Rochester. 1 down, bases juiced. Griswold, she's got to keep a level head out there in the circle. Oh man, they almost were able to get the runner at third. The count has gone to 3 balls and 1 strike. Walk here obviously will force in a run. And it has done that. So that will be an 8-2 game as McPetras comes in on the walk. Waite will go to third, McKinley to second, and LaBeija to first, and now Mishkit up. She is 0 for 2. And Hart going to have a chat with Griswold. I can't believe she would be fatigued or tired. Number one, she's 17 or 18 years old, and she's had short innings. She hasn't really been extended in any inning out there. And though it's pleasant today, it's not oppressively hot where you would be fatigued out like that. So Mishkit can do a lot of damage here with a base hit. Griswold will miss inside for a ball. Top of the order, Boyer up on deck for Rochester. They're at the plate. They're in the dark blue uniforms. West Rutland in there, very familiar green and yellow. And Griswold will miss high. And all of a sudden, Griswold getting a little wild out there. Players think too much when they're like this. And that's going to be to Wood. She's got time. No, she doesn't. And the run will score, and the bases will remain loaded. As Wood got to the ball, but just couldn't come up with it cleanly. And Waite will score the 3rd run for Rochester in the ball game. And now Boyer up. It'll be interesting. Boyer has had 2 bunt singles, and she hit the ball hard on a full swing. So I believe it was an error. I've checked my book. Too far outside for a ball. Yes, it was an error her last time up that allowed her to go to base. Boyer showing no signs of squaring there. There's the force out at home. Yep, they'll cut down the run. And a nice job all the way around of communicating that. So 2 down. Boyer will reach on the fielder's choice. Now Shepard up. And she is the 8th batter, Shepard is, to come to the plate in the 6th. 8-3 West Rutland's lead, down to 5 now. And that was a great pitch, swing, and foul ball. The umpire indicating it's a foul ball. Now the importance of that was the runners could not, if they wanted to advance or try to advance on that, because it was fouled. Griswold trying to get out of this jam here in the 6th with just the 2 runs coming in. She'll miss high for a ball. I'll tell you, looking at those base runners for Rochester, there's good speed on the bases for Rochester all the way around the horn. And Griswold, I see the umpire shaking his head no, and that low strike zone getting like an amoeba here in the 6th inning. Actually, I think that was more inside more than the height. And that's going to be a base hit. No, foul ball. That was close. And so a big sigh of relief from the West Rutland fans and the West Rutland dugout, and they will bring everybody back and get them back on the bases. Oh, with that, it made the 7th inning interesting. So 2 strikes now on Shepard and Griswold. Rotted in high. So it's getting tense now in the 6th inning. More than tense, she will walk in a run as LaBeija will score. And the 9th batter, Lauren Pratt, coming up. She's 0 for 3 today. And it's 8-4 now, the score is lead cut in half. And it has been mostly the damage done by West Rutland to themselves. They have that 1 inning, and so far this is shaping up to be that inning. That will be pulled foul down the 3rd baseline for a strike on the foul ball. Yes, more Mill River softball action coming up for you on Munger Vision. Some more Proctor softball action. Obviously West Rutland also. And that is a base hit. It'll be bobbled around by Lee, and 1 more run will come in as I want to catch up to the homework here. Or was it foul? It was foul. It was foul. Okay. See, I can't see the chalk line over there because I'm standing on the ground, not elevated. So, Pratt, again, another big sigh of relief from West Rutland. That's Girardi going back and off the glove. And that's going to score Boyer 8-5, and Shepard going to be coming around 8-6. Yeah, and Hart will hold on to the ball. And so Pratt with a big base hit to center field. You know, I got to look. She cleared the bases, so that would be Mishkit that scored. Boyer I saw score. And Shepard scored. So 3 runs come in on that, and it's a double. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's 8-7 now for McFeetris, who started this whole inning off. So an 8-7 game, the tying run sitting out at second base for Rochester. And that's going to be to Lincoln. To first. Oh yeah, going to the bottom of the 6th. It's tight now, 8-7. West Rutland would lead over Rochester. So McFeetris' job, very simple, very forward job here. No runs this inning as we go to the bottom of the 6th. Griswold, Lincoln, and then Hart. So right in the power portion of their order is West Rutland. They saw an 8-1 lead shrink to 8-7 in the 6th. Unofficially, I'm unofficial. I'm going by my book, which has an 8-7. So McFeetris. That's going to be to Boyer, and it was hit hard, but right at Boyer, who's very short-handed, and that'll be out number 1 in the 6th. Prior to that, Griswold scored a couple runs, been on base, had a single, and now Lincoln up. Lincoln with 4 RBIs today. Going after that first pitch, Boyer going back on the outfield grass and making the catch in short left field for the 2nd out. So McFeetris got through 2 tough hitters relatively quickly. Boyer with 2 putouts this inning, and now Hart up. Hart with an RBI also, the catcher for West Rutland. She had an RBI single back in the 1st. And boy, you talk about a quick inning, and West Rutland trying to hold on for the win as we go to the top of the 7th. They lead 8-7. So Brooke Griswold sporting the Hollywood look with those shades on. Has a 4 strikeout day going, but she's got that 1-run lead to protect, and she's going to be looking at Alicia Waite, Michaela Blair, and Jorah McKinley due up. So Again, you expect bunt here from the left side, and she did not show bunt, but when both teams have decided to bunt, they have both been very effective today. And that will be ball 2. I got a feeling this is going to be a nail biter. We're in the top of the 7th, scheduled for 7. 8-7 to score. And Griswold having a rough 6th inning. Starts off down a couple strikes. And Harrington will bobble it, but keep it from going in the gap. She did a good job of tracking the ball because it was hit on the line in the gap. But it'll be a runner on with nobody down here in the 7th. So Blair up. She's officially 0 for 2, and she has a walk also. Strike called outside corner. Hart with a good arm behind the plate, and we'll see how adventurous Rochester is as far as moving that runner along via the steal. And they won't have to. On the wild pitch, Waite will go down to second base, putting the tying run at second. And so Blair now, see if they put the bunt back on. They would put a runner at third with just 1 down. She showed bunt, brought the bat back, pitch called a strike. It's not automatic, too, when they get 2 strikes that they're not going to still apply the bunt. That was old school. Nowadays, people, I like what I see nowadays, and they still put the bunt on. Check swing foul. I got to tell you, that would have been a ball right there, but she accidentally got in the way of the pitch, and things getting dicey here in West Rutland with an 8-7 score in the 7th. West side trying to hold on for the win, and Rochester with the tying run at second. And at third now, as that was again a wild pitch, hit the shin guard to Hart, and I don't know how Rochester won't tie the game up. There's nobody down, and a runner at third. And Griswold, not picking on her, is not a strikeout pitcher where she can generate 3 outs in a row. And she's getting a little tense too because she's starting to miss. She's aiming her pitches more than just letting her arm flow freely from the windmill in. And so it has been late inning woes for West Rutland during their slump. And they are experiencing that again here today. McKinley up, first and third for Rochester with nobody down. And Coach Dunch is going to come out and have a chat with his senior pitcher, Brooke Griswold. Well, stay with things that work for you, too. I mean, I'm going back to Rochester now. First and third, they've had base runners on, and they've been aggressive with them on bases. I know they're down a run. I know that's in the 7th inning, but first and third, I still would send the runner on the steal attempt from first to second. Only because I would throw down, but I don't think West Rutland will throw down. They'll concede the base. So why not put yourself where you eliminate the force out or the traditional double play, and plus you put another runner in scoring position. So Griswold is set now as McKinley stepping to the plate. And there goes the runner, and they don't throw down. They throw that pitch or the play to the cutoff at shortstop. So they conceded the base, and McKinley can not only tie the game up with a base hit, she can also give Rochester the lead. Up and out of play, yes, for a strike. So they'll get that ball back to Griswold. It's McKinley, then LaBeija, and then Mishkit due up here. As Rochester sitting in a great position right now for a come from behind, take the lead from come from behind. And they're going to try to send her home. And Hart's going to, Hart tried to make the play herself. And the tag came in high, and she's going to be out. I don't understand that. So they will get the second runner out. The game will be tied up. Blair tried to score with the pitcher standing there with the ball in her hand. That was different. So the bases, I'm looking around. I saw what I saw. Okay, so Blair, for some reason, whether she was sent or not sent, tried to score and was easily tagged out. The game is tied at 8. There's one down, bases clear, and McKinley back at the plate. Well, we'll see if that costs Rochester, because That takes the potential lead run completely off the table, and I just could not see sending there. I personally can't remember if it was Hart or Griswold. I think it was Hart standing there holding the ball. I mean, right at home base, I have no idea how Blair thought she was going to score. Of course, she might have no say in it. She might have been sent by the. I would hope she was sent by the coach. So the base is clean, and we're tied at 8. And that will be ball 4 to McKinley. So that will put a runner at first with 1 down. And LaBeija up. Last inning, she walked and scored a run. That's going to be off. Oh, that's going to be, everybody's going to be safe. Yeah, that's just one of those bad breaks. Griswold tried for the line drive, trying to stab the line drive. And then the ball went away from Lincoln. And I'll leave first and second, 1 down for Mishkit. Top of the order, Boyer on deck. Oh my goodness, that was a good looking pitch. Well, it was called a ball, and so Mishkit will be up 1-0 in the count. 1 ball, no strikes. Caught, and oh, nice job. Bania with the grab, and that's a good play because nobody can move up on it. So first and second with 2 down now for Boyer. Boyer's got a couple bunt singles today and a fielder's choice, and I never think it's a bad idea. Bania's playing way back at the corner at third base. Now she's coming up. Boyer showed no indication of going bunt. Boyer's so athletic, though. I bet she'd be a good person to put the slap on. Now show bunt and swing away. And that's going to be a tough catch, and that's going to roll by, and Rochester, McKinley will score. LaBeija will be held up, and it'll be 9-8 now as Boyer, with their 3rd hit of the ball game, will break the tie. And she'll have an RBI single, and now Shepard up. 9-8 Rochester, and Griswold just trying to get out of the inning right here, not let the damage become even more. And that ball, I can't believe they didn't try to score on that. They scored earlier, just sitting on a play where the ball didn't get away that far. You know, you look back at the whole inning, the last 2 innings, that was a timely hit right there by Boyer. But it has been the walks and wild pitches that has really been the undoing of West Rutland in the 6th and 7th. And then it's been the late innings, and every game I've covered for them that has been kind of a bugaboo for them. They have not lost this game yet. They still come up in the bottom of the 7th with a chance to do some damage. That'll be high and outside. So 9-8, and Shepard awaits the pitch with a runner at 2nd and 3rd. And that will load the bases, and she's trying to score, and she will be out. Now, I don't understand. We'll see how this plays out. If Rochester loses this game in the bottom of the 7th or in extra innings, they've took 2 runs off the board themselves with some different style of base running here. So 9-8, Rochester going into the bottom of the 7th. Features trying to pick up the win in relief of Mishkit. Has had a strong 5th and 6th inning pitching-wise. She's going to be looking at Harrington, Bania, and Eddings, the 3 due up for West Rutland. West Rutland had that 8-1 lead, and it's all gone now. That's going to be a base hit up the middle. On a nice, sweet swing by Harrington. She will lead things off here with a single, and that will put the tying run at first base. Tell you what, that's a nice hit. That's her 2nd base hit of the ball game. Bania up. And some time called on the field as they're going to bring in a courtesy runner. It's a good move. Harrington can re-enter if they go to extra innings, but right now I cannot see the back of the jersey. I believe it is Cassidy that has come in, but I'm not sure of that. So Bania now. Foul tip. Runner can't advance, and that is Cassidy, who has come in to courtesy run for West Rutland as McFeatress. And that's going to be out of play. So 2 strikes on Bania. And tell you, if you're going to go down, you want to go down swinging. Don't go down watching strike 3 in the 7th for the tying run at first. Then they changed the pace up on the pitch. It was low for a ball. And a nice stop by Pratt, and the runner at first cannot advance. Great location on that pitch. That'll be a strikeout and the first out of the inning. Eddings up now. Lee on deck. Believe me, small ball is not out of the question to me. I'm not dead set against bunting that last batter and getting the runner to second with one down. But I also, who the heck am I, right? That one too low for a ball. So Eddings looking to get the bat on the ball and make that defense make a play. Oh, I gotta tell you, I mean, I'm not knocking the guy. I wouldn't have swung at that either. That's a generous strike right there. And Eddings looked like she was on her way to the dugout. Was called a ball. Again, get the bat off your shoulder, protect the plate with 2 strikes. That was a good job. She fouled it off. That's a foul ball. Everybody's got to go back. So Cassidy will go back to first, and Eddings will pick up the bat, head back in. Now, that was a good defensive swing. Stay alive with 2 strikes. And I tell you, she did more than stay alive. She went way out of the strike zone. Yeah, Coach Dunches wanted Cassidy to be at third base on that play. First and second, one down. So a couple singles here in the 7th. Now Lee up. And again, Lee has put the bat on the ball today. She'll foul that right off the fist and back. Bain, you struck out. That's the only out so far. On deck is Wood. One down, and the tying run at second for West Rutland. Good speed out there on the bases. And that's going to be trouble, and that's going to load the bases up for McFeetris as it went off for her glove. A little bit bad luck for McFeetris, just like what Griswold had experienced in the 7th when the ball went off from her glove like that. So bases juiced for West Rutland. And Wood up. Again, they're going to have a meeting in the circle, and I don't blame them at all. Well, you know, to look at it this way, too, it's not the worst thing in the world. I know the defense is going, oh, my goodness. But you have a force out at home on a ground ball. Just go home with it. It's just a force out. You also have more options to create a double play with the bases loaded. And so Lee at first, Eddings at second, and the courtesy runner, Cassidy, at third. Don't forget, wild pitch, too. If you're going to go on a wild pitch or pass ball, you can't hesitate from third. There's not a lot of space to work with back there. So McFeetris to Wood, and the game on the line right now. And that could win the ball game, and that's going to come in, and that's going to win it for West Rutland as here comes the winning run in Eddings, and West Rutland. I have it as 10-9, and Coach Dunch is looking, saying it's over. It's 10-9. And that is the ball game. And West Rutland, there's the hero, Caroline Wood, with an opposite field single. Getting a little high five there. So West Rutland lost the 8-1 lead, only to set up, make it exciting to get the 10-9 win as they were able to get key hits from the middle of the order to the bottom of the order. And the number 9 batter, Caroline Wood, with the 2 RBI single that will win the game. So congratulations to West Rutland. A good game by Rochester. A fun one today on Munger Vision. So get out there, support your student athletes, and catch a softball game live, but always watch PEGTV also.